Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some more Let's Read Higurashi. So I hit continue, and normally I do continue starting from like when I just hit it, so it's like a nice clean transition. But like it immediately starts off with a whole thing. So I'm like, dang, can't do that. So let's actually hit continue and actually experience this together, so I don't have to be like trying to do the introduction while also dealing with something. You'll see, it's a little strange. Let's get going on seeing what this is.
本
Because
当
we
に
have
伝えたいのは
seems like another
違う
poem.
言葉だった。本当に感じたいのは違う心だった。すれ違い
Now
が
who's
水を
saying
生み、
this?
ためらいの気持ちが人を恐怖へと沈ませる。もう
Driven
誰
to
も止めら
fear.
れない。冷たい感情がむき出しの心を深く残酷にえぐってゆく。綿流し、
Naga. Like
なぜ
snake?
あの時とつぶやく後悔の言葉。それはもはや虚しい響きだった。
Huh. Huh. So I think we're going in with the emotional horror for this one, huh? Very interesting. I'm excited because I feel like this is a different type of horror, and like slasher horror is one thing. It's scary, but I'm never gonna have that happen in my life. But this is a horror that feels so real and something that like I've not only like fear experiencing but have experienced before. So like, yeah, miscommunication, relationship based, horror is almost too real. So I'm excited for this.
ケイチくんだ。おはようなんだよ。だよ。
Rena was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy.
おはようってもう夕方だぜ。
Yeah. I mean, this could also be like a sunrise. No, really, you don't really get the golden hour for sun. I mean, you kind of do, but not like this.
こんにちはだろ。
でも今日ケイチくんにする最初の挨拶だから、やっぱりおはようがいいな。いいな。
わかったわかった。じゃあおはようでいい。おはようレナ。
I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed it with my hand. A little close. She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat. Listen, buddy, that's a stereotype. I don't take kindly to that.
やっほー、ケイちゃん。昨日は申し訳なかったね。黙って帰っちゃってさ。
Boy, after that poem,
ああ、それを言うなら俺の方が悪かった。ミオをずっと待たせっぱなしでごめんな。
昨日のお祭りの準備のことかな。どうだったケイチくん。しっかりとお仕事してた？
I got beer. The slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious.
頑張ってたよ。へばってたけどね。
I grinned dryly, and the three of us break out into laughter.
サトコとリカちゃんは祭り会場で合流か？
リカちゃんはほら、大切なお勤めがあるから昨日からずっと。さとこちゃんもそのお供だそうだから、もう二人とも神社にいるよ。
Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on.
よっしゃ、早速行こうぜ。
Let's go! Whoa, that was a crazy transition. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. And thankfully they're not running into us this time. That's nice. It began to get noisier too. I thought I could hear something like a Bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs.
ケイチくん早いよ。待って。
No, gotta go fast!
ハグケイちゃん、お子様なんだからな。
Yeah, well, not all of us are old men, okay? I say to the young woman. Whoa, the shrine grounds, they were packed with people. It was like a festival if I ever saw one. Yo, they have Max's game. They have Gungam. Yo, they have chocolate-covered bananas. They have takoyaki. I'm gonna be real, takoyaki kind of overrated. I think the octopus ball is good, but all the toppings suck. What else do we got? Can't recognize anything else.
今年も立派だね。すごいね、すごいね。
南沢中から出てきてるんだろうな。ありゃ、君吉分家の寝たきりじいさんまで来てるじゃない。
Oh, it's like Grandpa Max. He's up and he's walking because he could always do that because he's actually just a lazy bum. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory
あ
sucks.
のじいさん、去年の綿流し以降ずーっと布団の中で過ごしてたんじゃないかな。
Oh, literally, it's Grandpa Max. Yeah, there are a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. It must have all just been pouring in just for today.
あ、さとこちゃんだ。はーい。
What else we got here? Helium balloons. Got some frankfurters. We got shaved ice machine with green. Oh, what flavor is green? We got the octopus on a stick.
あら、皆さんでございますの。
So, like, I was talking with a friend, and I'm like, you know, it's a good thing that, like, at the end of the day, Satoko and Keiichi have a good relationship. Because I could fully see this being the thing of, like, you know, when the one slightly more autistic kid in class gets in your nerves, and, like, having one of them just brutally hate the other. Because that's kind of the vibe I get. Nah, they're chill with each other, but they're both, like, they got stuff going on, you know.
こんにちはですわ。
ようさとこ、今日はすごい人手だよな。はぐれて迷子になるなよ。
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Satoko too seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？まだ自由時間でしょ？リカは村長さんたちと挨拶してましたですわ。
Nah, that makes sense.
すぐに来るでございますわよ。
She shall come before long. Why are you... The way she speaks is so silly. I see. Well, Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival, after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
実に大変なのですよ。
Written on our face,
こん
huh?
にちはなのです。は、はう、リカちゃん、お持ち帰り。
Rika-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looked fresh off the shelves of your local Toho cosplay store. It was a perfect fit for her somehow mystical appearance. Looks like she could start using bombs to detonate bullet patterns at any time.
どう？
I don't think that's... I don't think that's what you said.
丈とか長すぎない？バッチャからもしも袖がかかるようならって安全ピンを預かってきてるんだけど。
Oh.
大丈夫なのです。実に快適なのですよ。
As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches.
いいね、いいよね。これかいいよね。
Not at the festival. There's food around. Get the blood off the ground. There was approximately one person here getting a nosebleed. Well, approximately from watching Rika-chan move. I feel like that's an observable fact. You don't need to approximate it.
ケイチ君はかいいと思わないかな？思わないならレナノになっちゃうからお持ち帰り。
すごく可愛いと思うぞ。かなりカス。不敬のふりをして写真を撮りまくりたいくらいだ。
Normal things to say.
2点から撮影して立体視できるようにすれば、立
What?
体の生リカちゃんが自宅でいつでも眺め放題。
That's next level degeneracy. Yeah, can we take two pictures of you at the same time so we can use it to make like a 3D picture? That's very strange. That's very strange behavior.
はう、いいねいいねいいね。
Rena's eyes and mine glittered with stars. Oh, one sec. Listen. I got you. There we go. Rena's eyes and mine glittered with stars as our noses bled and we drooled. Sentence?
リカ、あいつらに近寄ると大変ですわよ。地下室とかに閉じ込められるかもしれないのです。
Don't make jokes about that because like I don't know. I feel like that's Man, that's sure a lot of guns on Chekhov's fireplace, huh?
その割にはリカちゃん楽しそうだけど。
ミーがひどいことを言うのですよ。
We all laughed together again.
もたもたしないで祭りを回るかね。
Festival
リカ
time.
ちゃんの出番までそう時間がないでしょ。
I guess I can go back to normal. There we go.
そうだな。よっしゃ行こうぜみんな。
よ
Are we doing the gun game
ー
again?
小野崎のお嬢ちゃんじゃねえの。食ってきな。豚肉たっぷりの焼きそばだぜよ。
Nice. Yakisoba's real good from a
今年
festival.
はイカリングまで入ってるボリューム派よ。
That's I don't you know, I'm gonna be honest. Pigs and octopus, squid. I don't think they should go together.
へい
I
おや
think those
じ、
are very different
今
meats.
年の焼きそばもなかなか力作じゃないの。イカまで入れるとは今年は奮発してるね。
へえ、美味しいね、美味しいね。
Can I just say I love the piano in this song, but all it makes me think of is like some of those crazy like themes from like Pokemon Coliseum and XD, where it's just absolutely banging on the keys for a Pokemon game. Like I think it's a semi-final Coliseum battle. It's such a good song.
ああ、イカってのは食ってもうまいが、それ以上に匂いが香ばしいんだよな。
Honestly, calamari is like that's a really good food. I feel like people who are kind of iffy on like squid and octopus start with calamari and you'll sort of learn like, oh man, it's actually really
軟
good.
弱になりがちな歯ごたえも実に見事に補ってる。イカと豚肉のボリューム感は実に素晴らしい。うん、悪くない出来だ。
へえ、
That's a noise.
ケイちゃんって何気に料理番組の司会とかに向いてるね。
ケイチくんが美味しそうに食べてると、なんだかいつもよりもずっと美味しそうに感じるもんね。
If this took place in the modern day, he'd totally have like a food blog.
俺はうまいものはうまいっていう主義なんだよ。だから俺がうまいっていうものはとりあえず試してみる価値があると思うぞ。
ではケイチ、この焼きそばの評価を改めてどうぞなのですよ。
一言で言うとだ。うまい。
Okay. That sounded like one word in Japanese, but okay.
胃袋がもう一つあるんなら迷わずもう一つ買ってるな。
Having heard my 3-star rating, hopefully not out of 5, a whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand.
おほ、すごいよ。ケイちゃんがあんまりにも美味しそうに言うもんだから集客効果バッチリだわ。
Do we get like residuals? That'd be nice. Oh, candied apples back there. I think those are. It was nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs.
あら、そうなんですの？では、私も挑戦してみましたよ。おじさん、たこ焼き一つくださいますこと？
Could I perchance bother you for one takoyaki? Desuwa? Satoko bought a takoyaki. Okay, this is crazy. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of showing the age of this translation. The fact that they're translating and telling us what a takoyaki is, I feel like in the modern age, that's a word like, you know, like yakisoba, like, you know, boba, you know, all of those, you know, mochi, that we just like we understand now. I feel like the fact I can go to Walmart and buy Walmart brand takoyaki, I feel like means you don't have to do that now. But at the same time, that's very much because like times have changed since the translation came out. At least that's how I feel. Anyways, Satoko bought one stick of takoyaki, a ball of fried octopus, from the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth. Yeah, no, those are molten balls of lava in the center.
どうかな、さとこちゃん。美味しい評価が出るなら、レナも買うよ。
Chomp chomp, choo choo, gulp.
さあ、料理評論家の北条さと子審査員のご感想をどうぞ。
Dang, bad first impression. Though she was all for it a moment ago, Satoko hesitated to give her thoughts. Hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it in their mouths.
あれれ、レナのは外れだね。
Don't think you could say that. I think that's one of those terms that now we've kind of agreed on as a society. It's probably not a good idea to say, and if you're looking at that and going like, what's the problem? Look up the root of that and you'll go, Okay. Mind you, like I like this was a term that like I used for years because I didn't know the meaning. I feel like this is one of those things that as time has gone on, we kind of went like, oh yeah, we shouldn't say that, you know. Not a big deal, but it, you know, again, showing the age.
僕のも外れです。タコさんが入ってないのです。
Oh no, they're just Timbits with like gravy, or no, it's like a savory sauce and mayo on top and fish flakes. This takoyaki vendor. Could this be some sort of summer festival only octopus free takoyaki stand? Yeah, could be, right? You can call it vegan takoyaki, I guess. An evil takoyaki stand that skimped on the octopus because they figured it would make them good money today.
私のには入ってたわ。うん。タコが入ってる分には十分うまいよ。
Well, yeah, without it, it's just a ball of dough.
どう美味しそうに解説
Yeah,
すれば
no,
いいん
it's
ですの？
a ball of dough is not good. Everyone wondered about that, and the way you actually make it, it's kind of interesting. You like make a half sphere of batter, you put the octopus in it, and then you use little chopsticks to flip it over and then pour the rest of the batter in under it. I actually, at a convention, I went to a takoyaki making class, which sounds crazy that I went to a class on making food at an anime convention, but it was set at like a high school, and like their biggest guest was someone who voiced one of the background characters in the English dub of Pretty Cure. Yeah, so you know, we were at a classroom, and so we were able to do that there. It was a fun class, and you know, it was the first time making takoyaki. I think they should do more cooking classes at conventions. I think it's a good idea to teach these guys both about, you know, Japanese culture, but also like how to cook. I feel that's a good skill, at least me personally saying that. Anyways, yeah, everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seem to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line.
こんなのはどうかな。たこ焼きなのにタコが入ってないからとってもヘルシー。
I don't think octopus is unhealthy.
タコの嫌いな人でも食べられる美味しいたこ焼き。
Oh, we gotta gas them up even if it's not good. After hearing that, several surprised guests left the line. It had the exact opposite effect.
じゃあ次は私が挑戦するよ。小麦粉やネギ、紅生姜の味などの素朴さをしっとりと味わわせてくれる自信作。
Yeah, that's a donut. Oh, I mean, I guess you know what? It's not too different from like a green onion cake, which were actually popularized in North America in Edmonton, Alberta, where I come from.
タコが入ってない分だけ素材の味が程よく。
It wasn't half bad, but after hearing that there's no octopus in it clause, even more people left the line.
リカちゃんは何かいいコメントはあるか？率直でいいぞ。
これで400円は高いのです。
Damn. $4 for one? That's ludicrous even nowadays. That was too honest. Even more customers leave the line dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all.
いやー、なんかその私らとんでもないことをしてるような。ほら、さとこ、あんたが始めたことなんだからビシッとここで逆転させなさいよ。
無理でございますわ。タコの入っていないたこ焼きなんてどう褒めればいいんですの？
Yeah, you idiot! Satoko's angry outburst was the finishing blow.
お客さんみんないなくなっちゃった。あれれ、おじさん睨んでる。なんでだろう、なんでだろう。はあ。
There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Geichi Maibara-sama, will lend a generous hand.
ケイイチならきっとなんとかできますですよ。タコなしたこ焼き屋さんを助けてあげてほしいのです。
笑顔でトゲのあることを言うな。まあわかった。俺がプロの技を見せてやるからよく見てろよ。
Oh boy, a pro bullshitter at work. I shoved the stick into an octopusless takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it, but Mion's had some in it. That was the important point. He's gonna turn it into Russian roulette.
このたこ焼き屋の親父さんは本当の意味でたこ焼きが好きなんだ。いや、愛してると言っていい。
Everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor glaring
あ
at
の親父
us.
さんは本当にたこ焼きが大好きなんだ。大好きだからこそいい加減なたこ焼きを作りたくないんだ。そうだね、親父さん。
The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. He's like, I guess. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopusless takoyaki deserved such a high rating.
でもケイチさん、そんなにたこ焼きが大好きならどうしてタコなしたこ焼きなんか作りますの？たこ焼きに対する裏切りではございませんの？
そうだな、ある意味裏切りだ。だがこれは親父さんにとっての最大限の妥協点なんだ。親父さんは今日だって本当のたこ焼きを作ってるよ。でもそれはこの中のほんの一つか二つでしかない。
まあそうだね。私の食べた一つにはタコは入ってたし、タコが入ってる分にはそんなに悪い味じゃなかったよ。
そう、それが本物のたこ焼きだ。それ以外のたこ焼きは8個入ってなきゃたこ焼きじゃないという一般人の先入観への最大限の妥協なんだ。
We are such a master bullshitter. Holy crap.
ケイチ君の言う意味がわからないよ。どうして本物は一つで他は偽物なのかな？
その秘密はタコにあるんだ。親父さん、このタコ本物の明石のタコだね。近年明石のタコの水揚げは激減
Oh
し
my
て
god.
とても高騰しているんだ。
It's rare
たこ焼
octopus.
きなんかにとても使えないようなとても高い値段になってしまってるんだ。
Then the man who had been looking down this entire time mumbled.
ああ、そうよ。明石のタコはすごく高いんだよ。
でも親父さんは明石のタコにこだわったんだ。安物のいい加減なタコを使えばいくらでもごまかせるのに。明石のじゃないのに明石という上りを立てて販売してるインチキたこ焼き屋は親父さんはごまかさなかった。嘘をつかなかった。
You know, unlike us.
タコは明石、この一点だけを堅くなに譲らなかったんだ。親父さんはたこ焼きを愛してた。だから嘘をつけなかった。でもどうしても一点だけ強いられる妥協点があったんだ。
それは何ですの？
数さ、たこ焼きってのは一船8個がポピュラーだ。
Is it normally a stick or is it? It's normally there's you get 8 in a box and then you put each stick in them. I wonder if that's what he's
い
saying.
くら本物の明石のタコだからって言って400円で1個だけってわけにはいかないだろう。でも8個にしなくては買ってもらえない。だから親父さんは涙を飲んだ。本物のたこ焼きを一つ作るために残り7個に嘘をつくしかなかったんだ。
Oh, whoa! The octopus-free takoyaki vendor burst into tears. I gently clapped one of his shoulders.
みんなが何と言おうと俺はあんたの純粋さを忘れない。あんたこそは本物のたこ焼き屋なんだ。あんただけがたこ焼き屋を名乗っていいんだ。
Clap, clap. Clap, 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 clap. As I embraced the shoulders of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause moved by my speech. This is a certified Tumblr moment.
さあみんな、この本物のたこ焼き屋のたこ焼きをどうか食べてやってくれ。こんな純粋な男を大事にしなくてどうして本当のたこ焼き道が守れようか。みんなが食わないなら俺が食うぞ。
見てた人たちがみんな並ぶ
That's
よ。
that's crazy, man.
ケイチくん、やったやった。
たこ焼きが美味しそうに感じたってより、
Yeah,
ケ
it
イちゃ
kind
ん
of was
の
that.
味演説が面白かったから
Right?
だろうね。
Kind of was that.
ケイちゃんっ
Take
て
a sip of my coffee.
生の油売りとかやったらかなりウケるかもしれない。
Every time it makes me go crazy.
スーパーの実演販売でもやればウケそうですよ。
I do find it funny they just call a supermarket a super.
怪しい万能包丁とか売りつける仕事に向いてそうですわね。
Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch, the guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me. Hey buddy, you come over here and work your magic?
うちのあんず飴も頼むよ。
よし、要領はつかめたぞ。
Wow.
今度はレナが行け。
You know, we should, they should pay us? They should pay us.
よーし、頑張るよ。はあんず飴が冷えててとっても美味しいんだよ。水飴の上にね、ちょこってあん
Oh,
ずが
that'd
乗
be
ってる
good
の。
actually. That'd be really nice.
はう、かわいいね。お持ち帰り。は
It looks like she lost herself in this midway through. But a girl giving it such natural praise was itself bringing in some customers. A line was quickly forming behind Rena.
今度はお好み焼き屋だ。
Yo, okonomiyaki!
えっと
Okonomiyaki is one of those things that you wouldn't think would be good, and then you have it and you're like, dang. Because it's just pretty much a throw everything inside of it, you know, pancake.
焼きそばに揚げ玉入りでカリカリなのがとっても
Okay,
美味しいで
yeah.
ございますわね。
Yeah, that'd be good.
大きなベーコンが丸ごと敷い
Ooh,
てあって
bacon?
かじるとほら
Okay.
ビローンって出てきてはっはっはっ。
おお、うまいうまい。それなら俺も食ってみたくなる。
Then a huge line forming on my words. What on earth is this? So basically, all these onlookers are just following us around all the stands.
みんなのを聞いてから食べるといつもよりず
That's
っと
true.
美味しく感じるからなのですよ。
So that's it. Even Rika-chan was gorging herself on the food, getting sauce on the bib she put on to prevent her shrine maiden outfit from getting dirty. That's a good move.
よーし、おじさんも盛り上がってきたよ。よし、ケイちゃん、私はどれだ？
よっしゃ。ミオはさらにその隣の露店へ行け。ミオンの底力を見せてみろ。
あれ？でもケイチくん、お隣のお店は。
Mm-hmm. Whoops! Oh, goldfish scooping stand. A bit out of our element, and also something that ethically concerning. I mean, I see that, you know, at our festivals in China here, we will have those, and I'm kind of like I get it, it's tradition, but I do feel bad for the fish.
いや、部活の部長たるもの、相手が何であれ逃げられないね。
Like, just personally speaking, I don't like anything that involves real animals. You know, this is kind of where I draw the line.
やってみるよ。
ミオンさんのお手並み拝見でございますわ。
I mean, I actually did it once just to try it. I didn't take the fish home. I just put it back in. And it's hard, right? Because like you're pretty much like trying to catch these fish on like it's literally just like a bubble scoop with paper, and like the paper is going to fall apart when weight's put on it. So you got to be like really careful. It's an interesting game. I feel we should replace it with, you know, mechanical fish though nowadays, or something else. Beans, I don't know. The onlookers were also watching me on with hopeful eyes.
いらっしゃい。はいよ。網とワン。
よし、やるぞ。
I'm not used to them getting so close. This is a new thing.
金魚はみんな生きがいいね。実に美味しそう。
What? Don't eat goldfish.
この小さいのなんか、そのままボリボリと生でいけちゃうよね。
What the fuck is wrong with you? Mutter.
ミオンさんは
What are you
何を言ってるで
saying?
ございますの？みーちゃん食べてたの？
What the?
去年レナからもらったのも食べちゃったの？
Oh my god, have you been going to PetSmart and like buying fish to eat?
違う。
No.
私そんなこと言ってない。
No, you said it. Was that a Freudian slip? Mion's face went red and she shook it vehemently, like in denial.
いや、でも今ミオン、お前自分で言ったぞ。
Yeah, you literally said
実に美味しそう
that.
だって。
Like,
ええ、確かに言いました。
oh no, is she here to be like, yes, my sister does in fact eat goldfish?
おねって雑食ですから、
Oh
口に入れ
no.
ば何でも食べちゃうんです。
美味しいなら今度僕も試
No.
してみるのです。
Don't eat him. Okay, I mean, would it be better to eat them than to have them suffer in a small fishbowl? I don't know. But
ダメだよリカちゃん、お腹壊しちゃうよ。
yeah, like goldfish are like super bad for you. Wait a second. Hey, what the hell? Shion, how long have you been here?
はーい、ケイちゃんにお姉にみんなこんばんは。あんたどこから湧いてきたのしよ。
She
焼きそ
gets
ば屋さ
so
んの時から
flustered.
ずっとです。お姉たちは騒がしいからすぐに見つけられま
And
した。
that's fair. We are kind of making a crowd.
もうあんたは関係ないでしょ。早くどっかへ消えなさいよ。もうお姉もあまり私を邪険にしないでくださいね。ケイちゃん、私が一緒でもいいですよね。
Ah! Ah! Woman jump scare! She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her boobies into it. Boing.
ケイチくん、鼻血出てるよ。
Listen, it's basic human biology. You have to understand. There's no stopping this.
ところてんを押したらニューって出てくるだろ。
Please tell me that he's talking about onigiri in the Japanese version of this line,
あれ
please.
と同じだ。これは抗いようのない現象なんだよ。
So, like, okay, like, it's a reference to, like, premature ejaculation, right? Right? That has to be what it is, right? The nosebleed thing? Like, that's the only thing that makes sense. Right? It's gotta be what it is. That's really gross, dude. Clean yourself up. But then again, Rena was doing that earlier, huh?
へえ、そうなんですか。じゃあ力を入れたらもっと出てくるかな。
Oh my god.
キュー
Shion, her cleavage, which is kind of crazy considering what wait, what's she wearing in the original? Yeah, no, you can't really have cleavage with that. With this you could, right? But not with this, but okay. It's right up against my chest. Drip? That's a really good voice clip.
あんたこら何やってんの。
Okay. Oh, look at the layering issue. Do you see it? Wait. See, like that's yeah, no. That's a layering issue. Look. Oh, that's crazy. Anyways, that's really funny. That her screams. I love it. They're really good.
不潔ですわ。見損ないましたよ。
I wonder if that's because I switched art styles
僕の
actually.
平らなお胸ではどうなのです？
Hey, Rika. We need to talk. Don't do that. Please. Hey, let's not do this. Let's not. Rika-chan clasped onto my other arm to rub, a plentiful plump feeling on my left shoulder, and the... Oh my god. I'm not reading that. You have eyes. You can read that. Okay, let's continue. How... Deserved. Shion, Rika-chan, and I, our faces now bruised, fell to the ground, limbs sprawled.
よくやったレナ。
みんな不潔なんだよ。
Thank you. Voice of reason here.
レナに殴られたのです。痛いのですよ。
I feel like punching the Shrine Maiden is grounds for being kicked out of the festival, but...
リカは自業自得でしたよ。
Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us had increased by 120%.
お姉の友達は実に愉快です。退屈しないな。ああ、そう。あんたさえいなくなればもっと愉快なんだけどね。もっと一緒にいたいけど、あんまりケイちゃんを誘惑すると本当にお姉に噛みつかれちゃいそうです。
She's literally saying her plans out loud.
だから私、一時退却しますね。
Like, okay, here's the thing. So like Shion is she is a bad person, I would say. Right? Like I would make the argument that she is a bad person. But I'm kind of loving whenever she's here because she is an agent of chaos, right? I mean, I think it's going to absolutely come around to bite us in the butt. I think, you know, it will result in one or more character deaths, but at the same time, I think that's a really interesting dynamic that, you know, I'm okay with being the villain here.
また来ます。じゃあね、お姉。
二度と来るなー。塩負けしよう。
Oh, haha. After teasing her older sister so much, Shion ran away into the crowd of people and disappeared.
なんだか珍しいミオンさんを見た気がしますわ。
Born Witness. Isn't it Bore Witness? I've never seen Born Witness. Wait, is that a mistake? I'm Googling this. I'm like really curious. I thought the phrase was to because you bear witness, right? So because it's I bore witness. I'm Googling this. Is that correct? Bore witness is to say you don't say you born witness. Yeah, so that's literally just a just an incorrect idiom, which at the same time, if Satoko's saying it, it might actually be meant to be like that.
しーちゃんが一緒だとみーちゃんなんだかかいいね。
Rena smiled happily, earning her a whack on the head from Mion.
アホなこと言ってんじゃないよ。次行くよ、次。
We went about just like that, really noisy and lively to the other stands. We were paying money towards the beginning, but well, midway through, the guys running the shops thought we... Did I say running the thoughts? Dang. Running the shops thought we were just too funny, and we ended up being able to fool around without having to pay much more. Nice. Also bad for the local economy. Thump! The vigorous sound of a big taiko drum echoed through the air.
リカ、
10
そろそろ時間みたいで
combo!
ございましたよ。
100 combo! Those noises, right? Okay.
いよいよなんだね。
Right, it's about time for Rika-chan to appear in the offertory dance.
ちょっとドキドキしてるのです。
信じなって。リカちゃんが流してきた汗は絶対に無駄になんかならないから。
Mion slapped hard on Rika-chan's back.
そうですわ。リカはきっとやり遂げますわ。頑張るのですよ。その息だよ。
I ball my hand into a fist and raise it into the air. Can I do that? There we go. Yeah, you can't see it though. Why am I turned around like that? Let me just, there we go. Right? Don't you forget about me thing. Come on, do it. Hand up. There we go. Oh, it gets as far as it goes. Curse these tiny, spindly limbs.
応援してるぞリカちゃん。ファイトオンだぜ。
Rika-chan gave the best smile I'd ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
じゃあ私たちも行こうよ。
そうだな。応援してやろうぜ。
ダメですのよ。演舞中は静かにしていないといけませんでございますわ
We,
よ。
we can cheer on in our hearts. I got it. Jeez, I rubbed a hand through her hair. She was worried about her good friend up to the end.
なら急いで行かないといい場所がなくなっちゃうよ。行こう。
Mion ran off and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into the tight space to watch the edifying dance.
こりゃすごい人出だな。
I turned around to look at everybody else, but nobody was there. Where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of... It's gonna be Shion. I spotted the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. It definitely doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated, no big deal. We can just meet back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around, trying to look for a place where I'd be able to see better. It didn't take long for me to realize that I'd have to settle for watching between the heads of the people in front of me, though. Yo, hey, tall people have no rights, can I just say? Like, tall people, you should go to the back, right? You were born with the privilege of being tall. Get to the back. For us, like, normal to short people, you know, who literally have to live on your scraps of your tallness, give us the chance to see something, because I'm sure no matter where you sit, you'll be able to see it, tall person. Give us a tiny bit of leeway in this world where you were genetically born into being superior, okay? I'm not angry. Da-dump. Once again, an even louder taiko drum resounded. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see it very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders, who were in priestly garb. I heard low exaltations of admiration, and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. Damn tall people. We should have cut playtime short and come to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right, the point of the ceremony was to purify the bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the solemn offertory dance. She had practiced using a mochi pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down. It was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved and raised and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As the shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Damn, why am I cheering her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up there in the best spot rooting for her. Did something move there? Oh, that was scary. Anyways, hi. Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. Oh no. Temptress, where are you bringing me now? She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her way of saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of. Oh my god, is she bringing us out of our friend's very special ceremony to like kabedon us on a wall? Oh god. After she told me so, she ran in a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have somebody who knows the lay of land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so I wouldn't be left behind. Where are we going? As I wondered in anticipation what kind of secret spots Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around to the back of the shrine grounds. Whoa, where's this? Where is this? That's a... Wait, wasn't this location where they said they were gonna steal something? Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people, not much moonlight. Well, it was kind of dark. We'd gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here? Oh, buddy, you're so dense. Oh, you'll be feeling high, all right.
屋根の上とかそういうところから見下ろそうって言うんだろう。
はい？なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです？
だってそうじゃなかったらどうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ。
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですか？
Okay, yeah. Chama, huh?
ケイちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーンものすごく
Oh
低くあ
my
りませ
god,
ん？
I was right.
なんだか話が微妙に噛み合わないぞ。お前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか？
はい？誰もそんな約束してませんよ。
I heard that boing. What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Am I just reading the wrong things from it? Do I have the tism?
じゃあお前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ。
With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is a dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds, and now a male and female of the same age are all alone together." Could this be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy again, is she?
あれを見てください。ほら、
Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbrush. And there we saw 2 figures. One male, one female.
なんだありゃ。まさか。
相敵の生現場に決まってるじゃないですか。
Okay, no, this is weird. This is weird. What are we doing?
ほら、よく見てください。
Oh, please, no, don't give me ASMR. I'm wearing headphones right now.
誰だかわかります？
Oh my god. I peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitaki-san and Takano-san! The two of them were... Okay. No, it's okay. We're good. Two of them were clearly breathing quietly, glancing around to make sure nobody knew they were there as they crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building.
まさかシオン、これを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか？
Actually, we're watching a crime.
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれませんよ。
I had thought the Sonozaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seemed all too similar.
俺は帰るぞ。二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな。
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
At our noisy argument, Takano-san suddenly turned around.
あらあら、どなたかしら？
We held our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Takano-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Shion and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
どうもこんばんは。
Okay, no, that was there is like a shadow in the corner sprite. They've been using that, right? There was a shadow there, right? I'm not crazy.
お月様の綺
I need
麗
to
な
watch
いい
for that
夜です
more.
ね。あらあら、
Also, the moon sure is beautiful tonight. I know what you're saying.
シオンちゃんに前原くんじゃない？こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
おやおや、ケイチ君も隅に置けないね。こんなところで合いびきかい？
Okay, so someone pointed it out, and I didn't want to say it. He totally got a different voice. Like, it's different. He sounds different. You know? And I wasn't sure, but when it was pointed, like, I sort of heard it, and I'm like, why do you sound a little different? I didn't want to say anything, because I didn't want to be, like, misremembering, but then people pointed it out, and no, he does sound quite different. Now, if that is, I don't know if that's an in-universe or out-of-universe thing.
だとしたら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。あははははは。
You're the ones who are meeting up secretly. Tomitaki-san and Takano-san laughed to themselves and got on my nerves for some reason.
ってことは、富武さんたちは相引きしてたってわけじゃないみたいですね。
それはもちろん違うよ。そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような相引き現場じゃないのよ。期待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。
Weird thing to say to children, but all right.
相引き現場じゃなかったら何してるんですか？富武さん、今扉の南京錠いじってませんでした？
Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。僕たちが倉庫破りをしてたなんて内緒だよ。
Wow, you just admitted it.
内緒って、それ、泥棒ってことですか？
I demanded unthinkingly, just because of how absently Tomitaki-san was grinning.
いやーね、泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たちのことでしょ。別に私たちは物を持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。へえ、じゃあ何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんですか？ここ開かずの西宮殿ですよね。古出家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
Forbidden storehouse? What is this? Deltarune? I don't know if they go into it in chapters 3 and 4. I've not finished them yet, so don't say anything. No spoilers. I took a few steps back at that and looked on the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. and it was built to be durable, giving it a strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different from normal warehouses.
ここはね、細具殿といってね、細具をしまっている倉庫なの。いえ、細具を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。リカちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用のクワも、今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。もちろん、古出家の人間以外は、汚れを持ち込むから、立ち入り禁止の不可侵領域。
Which is why you wanted to go in there?
聖域なの。
Shouldn't we absolutely, like, not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, an innocent smile at best and a terribly cruel grin at worst.
私、ひなみ沢の昔語りや伝承を
Yeah.
趣味で研究してるって言ったわよね。私の知的興味のさまざまな答えがこの中に詰まってるの。この中に入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
A chance. Everybody's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was the ultimate blind spot.
へえ。富武さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
あ、よしてくれよ。僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
Bro just got locked out of his apartment in Tokyo a few times. It makes sense.
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。でも、二郎さんのおかげよ。感謝してるわ。
やれやれ。でも高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。
It'd be really funny if he's just like, well, a pretty woman asked me. Can't say no, because, I mean, I understand.
こういうところに黙って入り込むのは、やっぱり気が引けるよ。
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
Clink. Tomitaki-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
開いたよ。
ありがとう。いよいよね。
Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. Why is my brain thinking that this is Danganronpa? And we're gonna open it up and there's gonna be a dead body and they're gonna be like the pink blood sprayed everywhere. It's gonna play that one death stinger. Probably not, but let's see. The sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. I had claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation, well, I could believe in them. We went into such a holy place with our shoes on. Feels like we could be punished somehow. Yeah, whenever I went to temples, I always say take your shoes off there.
あなたたちも共犯なんだし、せっかくだから一緒に見学しない？
Oh God.
ひなみ沢の皮脂を埋める貴重な文化遺産の見
Well,
物
this
会よ。
might be really interesting, actually,
今日
though.
だけの限定会
Might be
館。
actually super interesting. Like, I mean, I am curious.
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
面白いと思い
Ah,
ます
so close. I'm not used to how close they get.
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Shion said, predictably, linking her arm with
で
mine.
もこれは絶対いけない神聖な倉庫なんだろ。細具殿って言ったっけ。ますます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
私は一応園崎の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。でもそれはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
俺に見てもらいたいもの。
Thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. I like the idea that boys are not normal people. Sleeping, forbidden treasures, never to leave this warehouse. Well, chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then yeah, I want to see. Until the locked door is open, though, I don't know about this.
面白くないって思ったら、ケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。きっと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
Mitake-san spoke after listening to her conversation, himself having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから、一緒に見てきてごらん。僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど。
Oh, you're just here to pick the lock.
ケイチ君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? There's gonna be weird sex stuff in there. I don't want there to be. He said, laughing mischievously. That's what it sounds like. There was no ill will in his laughter.
富武さんはこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか。
まあね、高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
She just wants to verify it, pretty much. Okay.
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Tomitake-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Well, we also know who's the bottom in that relationship. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she'd drop absolutely everything for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tomitake-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person would be, which is why he will die in every single route, I'm guessing. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter.
じゃあちょっとだけな。面白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ。
You got it, Shion gave me another Mion-like wink, which is, I mean, how do we not know that Mion doesn't give Shion-like winks?
決まったみたいね。じゃあ行きましょうか。次郎さん、留守番をお願いね。
Tomitake-san waved his hand to see us off. Ah, a roof. The inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered the lantern she'd brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room.
真っ暗だね。みんな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
ご心配ありがとう。じゃあ門番をよろしくね。ここ閉めるわよ。
I swear to God if we get locked in here. Takano-san smiled spitefully, as if leaving Tomitake-san out of something fun, and began to close the door.
やれやれ。じゃあみんなゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
There was a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。予備電池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから。
Yeah, does that have like a crank or anything? Just asking if we have to be here for like 48 hours or
消え
something.
たりなんかしないわよ。
Okay. Looks like Takano noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was a last door, sealing away what was
ただ
within.
の倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。
Almost like it's like a you know, like on a spaceship, got like the airlock, so that you can come in here, shut the door, and then you open it up to get like there's no way someone outside could see it.
一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによ
Yeah,
って
exactly. I was
細具
super
殿の
right.
中が外に見えないようにする工夫だ
Just
と
like all
考
those
えられるわね。
all the times I'd go to prison when I was a kid for the Christmas parties. You've heard that story before, I've told it. Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh? Well, that over there, I spotted a circuit breaker. Well, that's surprising. Hanging from a clump of wiring and clumsily attached to the wall.
これ明かりのブレーカーか何かじゃないですか？
I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up. Yeah, that's getting me. Everyone scrunched up their face at the sudden strobe-like brightness.
ダメです。
Before she even finished, Mion slapped my hand and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click, and the room returned to darkness with only the lantern for illumination. Huh?
いってってってって。
ダメです、ケイちゃん。私たちここに忍び
Oh,
込ん
I
でるん
guess
です
people
よ。
outside could see
明
it.
かりなんかつけたらバレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. She got them jagged teeth. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。本当に一瞬だし。
Akana-san remained a relaxed adult. Seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see
さ
us.
あ入りましょう。よいしょっと。
The even heavier door opened, and this time it wasn't just the dust that came out with the air. There was also a nasty smell. One smell was like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. And the other smell, oh boy, the nasty one was hard to explain. But it was like the raw odor of a fish market. There's a dead body in here. There's a dead body in here. There's absolutely. From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held up her lantern and revealed the contents of the expansive room. At the back wall of the storehouse, right in front of us, was a Buddha-like holy object, standing there, looking down at us. It was him, Colonel Sanders again. I was taken aback by its unseen force, lit up by the slender beam of the lantern.
あれが
Oh,
ひ
yeah.
なみ沢の守り神、
Oh.
お社様よ。
Oh, we're okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Those are torture devices. Nope. 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 I'm looking at this room. These are torture implements. I'm seeing a thing for stretching people. I'm seeing a grinder for people that you strap them to. I'm seeing what looks like an Iron Maiden. I'm seeing cow tools. Oh god, not cow tools.
社にあるのより
Oh
ずっ
boy.
と立派ですね。
Oh, Yashiro-sama. Looks kind of like a Jedi. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa. The one guarding the holy land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempted to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたよりたくさんの細具が収められているようね。
Yeah, again, they look holy, I guess, is one way to talk about them,
で
but
も残念、どれもあまり手入れがされていないわ。状態が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
okay, here we go. We can see here. What else? Nope, these are just torture devices. There's literal cages on the ceiling. Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. Takano-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festive-like or traditional, but instead, this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. There were a lot of wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. Oh my god. These are... He just doesn't recognize them, and Jiro was like, you're going to be interested because he would think we'd recognize torture implements. I'd imagine there'd be more artistic things in here from the Heian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away.
あら、面白くないかしら？
俺は文系でも美術系でもないんで、あんまりこういうのを見てもよく価値がわからないです。
圭一君はよくわかってないみたいね。
Yep.
無理もないけれど。
Takano-san reached into a paper bag she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook, and began to flip through
じ
it.
ゃあ、圭一君のために昔話でも聞かせてあげようかしら。この地方では一般的な昔話よ。図書館に行けば教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure for now and pretend to be calm.
いい？じゃあ、読むわよ。
After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly, like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book.
昔々、ある山奥の村にね、その沼はね、底なしの深い
She's literally reading it like a
深い沼でね、
kindergarten teacher. You're not wrong.
地の底の鬼の国につながっていたんですって。
Okay, real question. Did you guys, like, in elementary school also have teachers that would talk to you about hell? Like, I remember when that happened, when I was in, like, grade, like, 5 or 6, I'm like, oh my god. Why are you talking about this? Like, it was, that did happen to me. I feel like, as a teacher now, there's no way I'd do that to little youngins, but the rumors said that it was deeper than the ocean, and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, the bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigafuchi. Wait, I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking in the bottomless swamp. Would that be the swamp she's talking about?
ってことは、その村はひなみ沢ですね。
She's like, yes, you're connecting basic themes.
察しがいいわね。そうよ。 当時は鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたけどね。
鬼ヶ淵村、物騒な響きのある名前だな。
イメージもあったんでしょうね。明治の頃に今の名前に改称されたって聞きました。
The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. And the true name of this village, Hinamizawa, was Onigafuchi Village. Demon Abyss Village goes really hard.
村人たちは鬼の国、つまりは地獄のことね。鬼の国とつながるという沼を崇めながら過ごしてきたの。でもね、ある日のこと。
Oh, good heavens, Berserker! What the frick? Why is my boy Berserker in this? Look at him! Bro's hitting the 9 lives. Demons began to appear one after another from deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble.
誰かが鬼を退治するわけですか？
残念だけど、このお話には桃太郎みたいな正義の味方は登場しないわ。
Okay, hold up. They translated Seigi no Mikata to Superman? Yo, could you imagine if you're reading Fate Stay Night and Shiro's like, I'm going to be Superman? That's really funny.
じゃあ村を挙げて戦うわけですか？
まさか村人たちに鬼と互角に戦える力などあるわけもない。
じゃあ村を捨てて逃げるしかないですよね。
それも無理ね。村人たちにとっても村は大切な郷里だったから。どんな恐ろしい鬼が攻めてきたからといって簡単に逃げ出せるはずもなかったのよ。
じゃあどうするんですか？滅びるしかないじゃないですか。
Unable to fight and unable to run, all they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Then, when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oyashiro-sama, descended onto them.
なるほど。つまり天からやってきたお社様が鬼たちをやっつけるわけですか。
ケイちゃんは男の子ですね。すぐに腕力で解決する方に走るんですから。
Shion sighed, a little annoyed. Embarrassed, I held my tongue.
お社様はね、やっつけるとかそういう暴力的な神様じゃなかったの。もっと優しい慈愛のある神様だったの。
The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before his radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return.
鬼たちの世界にも厳しい戒律があってね。彼らは地獄を追放された鬼たちだったんですって。
It must be bad demons, which would mean they're good people. Demons who didn't have a place to go, neither in hell nor the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were
村
sorry.
人たちも話を聞くうちに少しずつ気の毒になっていったわ。それでね、村のみんなで話し合った結果、鬼たちと一緒に住むことを決めたの。
And that demon's name? Colonel Sanders.
退治するとか追っ払うっていう昔話は多いけど、共存ってのは確かに珍しいですね。
ですよね。鬼ってのは元来諸悪の象徴のはず。それとの共存を決めたというお話なんだから本当に変わってます。
You're just gonna have to live with me freaking out whenever I drink coffee. Interesting. When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they doubted their ears but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of powers and secrets with the villagers. Which is why we have this sex dungeon now? Is that what we're
お社
getting at?
様はその微笑ましい交流をとても喜んでね、鬼たちが村人と分け隔てなく暮らせるよう人間の姿を与えたんですって。
Are we doing a thing where we don't know who in the village is demon blood descended?
そして自らも地上にとどまり、
Huh.
末永く両者の交流を見守ることにしたんだそうよ。
And according to the myth, Yashiro-sama is still here watching over us. A land in which man, demon, and god live together. I thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. God may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like this where both sides live in harmony. I see. I guess it's kind of interesting.
普通のおとぎ話ならここで終わりなんだけどね。このお話は江戸時代にだいぶ加筆されたみたいで、まだまだ続く随分と長い話になってるわ。
After that, the humans and demons intermixed. Oh my god, they had babies. And eventually there was no difference
鬼
between
の
them.
存在は結局村に溶け込んで消えてしまったということですか。
いいえ、消えたりなんかしないです。半分はしっかりと残ってたそうですよ。
The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were all well aware that the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy.
このお話がね、その後に派生するたくさんの昔話。だからこのお話がある意味ベーシックね。
原点ってどういう意味ですか？
村人たちは鬼の血を引いている。つまりこの辺りに伝わるさまざまな伝承や昔話は全部その村の人たちは鬼の血を引いているというのが前提になっているんです。
There was a hint of amusement in Shion's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof, though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales.
あら、じゃあ前原くんは沼から鬼が現れて人間と交わったっていうのは
I mean, you're telling me this like it's
本
fact.
当にあった出来事だって信じてるのかしら？
信じないわけじゃないんですけど。
When she said demon, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, wait, huh? Oh, this is interesting. Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs they were called demons. Oh, sort of like Yasuke, right? Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physiques, their faces, their skin color, their tolerance for spice. In Japan, terms like, this is interesting. Red demon and blue demon evoke images especially of Westerners. I didn't know, but is that why Dante and Virgil are like white guys? Lacking in skin pigments, Westerners would sunburn easily and turn red. Sounds like a skill issue. Haha. Hashtag native blood. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on their skin would look blue too. I mean, that's better than the other option I was thinking they were going with for blue demon. Right? When I heard like red demon, yeah, that makes sense for white people. I mean, you look at, Barry aged 53 from, from Norwich, and like you give him a pint and have him watch a football game, and yeah, he's gonna be red as hell, right? I was a bit worried they're gonna be like, and then the blue people were people with black skin, because I've seen that depiction before. Mr. Popo. A handful of accidental aliens would drift into Japan and come under persecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like.
なんて説はどうでしょ
That's interesting.
う。ちょっと子供じみてますかね。
Takano gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile as if to make fun of me.
別におかしくないわよ。実際に漂流異人説を唱える人もいるもの。
I mean, you literally have blonde hair, I'll
で
say.
も実際はどうなのかは誰
Like,
にもわ
that's
からない。
kind of crazy.
山賊化した異人の集団だったのか、
God,
本当に地の底から来た鬼たちだったのか。
can you imagine the twist of this game being everyone in this village has white person blood in them, and it makes them go crazy and kill each other? Ooh, that would be actually insane.
じゃあ、 高野さんはどっちを信じてるんですか？
真相は別にして、夢のある方を信じたいわね。
She literally said I'd rather be a demon than white.
その方が面白いでしょ。
That's really funny. Her answer made her sound a wee bit like a romanticist. Here I thought she'd reject unrealistic stories like that. I think she just really doesn't want to be white.
さて、いよいよここからよ。面白くなるのは。
Oh boy. Takano-san brought an end to her storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us.
Huh?
Suddenly, Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed.
どうしたシオン？
ごめんなさい。気にしないでください。
Huh? Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure that nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject.
村人たちに半分
Yeah?
鬼の血が流れてるのは話したわね。
Yeah?
実はその血なんだけど、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血なんだって言われてるの。
As opposed to the type of demon that, you know, runs businesses and maintains the status quo of society.
人食い鬼ですか？
No, they do that too, because there was that whole thing with rich people with the blood, right? The rich people were getting transfusion of young people blood.
急に物騒な響きになりましたね。
Okay, that we don't need memes in my game, please.
その血は今でも村人たちには脈々と流れていてね。時折その血が眠りを覚ますと言われているわ。
Oh, so you're saying they have the inversion impulse from Tsukihime. We're doing more Tsukihime. I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending with the humans and demons living in peace, but began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story.
人食い鬼だから何十年かに一度どうしても人肉が食べたくて仕方がなくなる
Again,
周期があるんです。
the CEOs in like New York, they had that one restaurant where you can eat human flesh. Just pay up.
だからって村人同士で
Just pay up.
共食いするわけ
Okay,
に
so
も
now we're
いかない
going with okay, so it used to be the villagers would get crazy and kill someone, but now it's specifically eating them.
だから彼らはその度に人里へ降り鬼隠しをしたと伝えられてるわ。
何ですか？鬼隠しって。
平たく言えば鬼たちによる誘拐行為よ。鬼ヶ淵村の村人たちが人里に押し寄せ哀れな生贄を無理やり力ずくでさらったんですって。
Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They'd lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages they loathed in the dirty world of the masses below. And then they kill and eat their sacrifices.
それじゃあ鬼と何ら変わりないじゃないですか。お社様はどうしたんです？その村にとどまって人々を見守ってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
もちろんお社様も了承してたそうよ。だから鬼隠しは無差別ではなく神様が決めた生贄以外には
Chosen by the
誰も
god,
さらわな
huh?
かったらしいし、ほとんどの場合は一人か二人だったって記されてるわね。
A village inhabited by those both human and inhuman. It was like the heartwarming episode's colors had inverted like negative film, revealing the painful and ugly truth.
そうして生贄をさらってきた夜にはね、哀れな犠牲者を美味しくいただくためWatanagashiの儀式が開かれたというわ。
Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. Watanagashi. Okay, because now that I see Naga in the center there and it was like capitalized, I want to go like Watanagashi, right? Wait, she means death. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me.
綿流しは
No, I've been saying it right.
確か冬の間に使った布団なんかに感謝するお祭りじゃなかったでしたっけ？
It's like, who do you think is inside the futons?
ケイちゃん、渡って言いません？
Oh, okay, well, this might be interesting.
臓物のこと。
Oh. Snake. So it's the snake organ death. Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up.
綿？そういえば言うな。魚の綿っていう。え？
Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind.
綿流し。
Gut spilling. I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
そう
Yo, Japanese wordplay goes crazy, man.
前原くんの想像している通りよ。今でこそ綿流しは毎年6月に行われる。ちょっと早い夏祭りに過ぎないけど、哀れな食材をさらってきた夜
They
に
forgot a space after the period.
凄惨な人食いの宴のことだったの。
嘘だ。
I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it.
前原くんはさっき綿流しは布団を清める儀式だと言ったわね。綿が詰まった布団って
Oh my god, I
何を意味
made
して
that
ると思う
joke.
かしら。
What do you... Oh no, but it's saying, what do they represent?
布団は布団だろ。シング、寝るための道具だよ。他に何の意味があるんだよ。
You know, we have people die when they're killed. We have the archer classes made up of archers. We have the birthdays, the day you celebrate your birth. And now we have... Futons are futons. They're bed. They're things for sleeping in. I was rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons stuffed with cotton. If the cotton represented entrails in both pronunciation and meaning, then entrail-filled futons would have to be humans.
では、リカちゃんがやった奉納演舞を思い出してちょうだい。リカちゃんがあそこで何をしていたか。
わからねえよ。第一、リカちゃんの演舞は最後までちゃんと見てないし。
You're real close to me.
ケイちゃんエキサイトしすぎです。
Shion grabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. This is actually like, just having them appear this close is scary. Again, I want to see. Oops, if I do this. Yeah, it's only this one that gets really scary for how close they get. Even so, I can't still suppress this agitation I feel.
リカちゃんが持っていた祭事用のクワ、もううすうすは気づいてると思うけど、あれは田畑を耕すクワではなく、
Combat hoe.
人間の腹をこじ開け
Oh
るための
boy.
解剖道具なのよ。
Ooh, there's a CG. Oh, that's good. Okay, wait, no, this is good art. Oh, I like this actually for the expression here. Yeah, actually, I do like this one. This is a solid one. Yeah, look at that's a Naginata back there. I'm sorry, that is just a guillotine above our head. Also, you don't have cleavage. I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I didn't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. Also, we are still getting an armful of booby. To summarize what she said, after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She said she'd cut the cotton out one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was. Well, that changes the view.
魚の綿を
Yeah.
取り出して三角コーナーに捨てるのを
That
仰々しく儀式仕立てにした。
that changes a lot.
それで儀式はおしまい。その後はそれぞれの役割を持った村人たちがおのおのに肉を解体して美味しくいただいたって考えられてるわね。
Takano-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt for some reason violent displeasure. Rika-chan, every day during our lunch break, she'd take a rice-pounding mallet into the yard, and she'd work so hard sweating bullets to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work, Takano-san disgraced it, even though she worked hard to practice for today.
高野さんももう少し言葉を選んでほしいです。ケイちゃんナイーブなんですから、あまりからかわないでください。
A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel.
ごめんなさい。男の子だからショッキングな話は結構好きかと思って。
Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice, as she gracefully smiled.
この辺まで話を聞けば、ケイちゃんにもこの細具殿の中にどういうものがあるのか理解できるようになってきませんか？ほら。
Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There was, mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. All those uninteresting tools that I didn't understand how to use, they all suddenly took on a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first they looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sorts of tools before. Yeah, they came up in a Japanese history textbook. Yes, on the page introducing the Kaitai Shinso, or the new text on anatomy.
こういうのはね、医学の本場、ドイツの文献の方が
Oh
例に
no.
掲載されてるわよ。
Oh no. We're not going where I think about this, are we? There's only one German medical textbook that I could see using these. These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools, they're for dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period, they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Oh, well, everyone knows that, of course. Everyone knows that. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements. The things hung up on the wall, all looked exactly the same as those.
もっと怖い言い方をするなら、
Hey,
といったところかしらね。
let's maybe not think about the Nazi dissection tools as cooking utensils, please. I'm good. Takano-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. You know what? There was a lot I expected from this game, but I gotta say, the Nazis weren't one of them. Then I definitely wasn't gonna... Okay. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her, whether I liked it or not.
ほら。
Yeah, this is definitely going in directions I didn't expect. Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain, which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain itself was nothing unusual, but further along it were metal fetters that were more like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
ケイちゃん、あれ。
Oh boy. Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to, yep, a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze. My body felt like it was turning into sherbet. That's a metaphor, as it crawled up my back. On top of each of the joints, there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them
多
in.
分まな板じゃないかしら。
I didn't know that's a real thing. Oh my god, wait. You're saying that when people say, like, next on the chopping block, is that like a death and no, to Google here. Chopping block meaning. Was it? Wait, okay, nope. Chopping block. A block for chopping wood or food. Modern. An executioner's block. Historical. So, we nowadays will use that phrase, and it was for, oh my
犠
god.
牲者を拘束して、この台
Oh,
の上で
well,
踊
in
りを
this
し
case,
た
it
んだ
works
と
for
思う
both.
わね。
The words chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it as though from a knife or a saw. They were the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. If someone was strapped tightly onto this table, they probably wouldn't even be able to move even a muscle. Their guts would be defenseless. You'd take one of those eerie cooking knives lined up over there and stab them with it. And then you'd slice open their belly and dissect them.
話には聞いてたけど、すごい。
Okay, Sugoi is not what I would have expected you to say. Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned that she had a good idea of what was inside, but it seems to have exceeded her imagination.
まだまだあるわよ。
Oh, great.
どう？老人形館より面白いでしょ。
Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank, this was all too weird for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all of this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself. Takano-san holding the lantern, giving off such a thin beam of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then I would... What would I do when, the next moment, everything went totally dark? I mean, the answer is probably piss yourself, but... That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light. And anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt on my skin changed completely. These cruel tools lined up all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones made to take away Sacrifice's freedom, and some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. These were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were, obviously, constructed in such a way that they could kill people. If that was the goal, then the person who you used them on would obviously end up dead. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. Tools that were here were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. There were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill people, or kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying ritual process, well, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now, in this moment, did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was.
人ってね、上手にやると結構殺さずに済むものらしいの。
Takano-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking
魔
smile.
女狩りで有名な家系。火あぶりなんかはすぐに死んじゃうのよ。
I feel you and I have a different definition of immediately, but
全身の皮膚が広範囲にわたって重度の火傷を負うと、
oh,
組織
oh,
の
well,
分
maybe
解
not.
産物で
That's
中
new
毒症
information.
状を引き起こし、まあ確かにそれに至るまでがギロチンなんかに比
I
べ
think
る
instant
と
death guillotine,
は
but
る
it's
か
not
に
even
長い
instant.
ところに
The head
罪
will
悪
live for a
性があ
little
るん
longer
だ
if you want to know the gruesome details. She described such horrors in a strangely medical way. Shion immediately answered the question I had.
高野さん看護師さんですから。
You know what? Yeah, this tracks. There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true.
ところがね、ローマの時代の処刑方法にね、
Oh, lovely.
バーベキューと同じにね、
Yeah, let's not call it that.
金網で挟みつけて炭火でじっ
Oh, dear
と
God.
焼いたんです。
That's horrible. To think the memories of when I went to a day camp with my family will come rushing back now of all times so vividly.
これだとね、どういうわけかなかなか死なないらしいのよ。ものの本によると、一昼夜かけて
Oh
片
my
側
God.
が炭化するくらいこんがり焼
Well,
いて
that's
も
one way to
ま
get
だ意
around
識があっ
that.
て
That's
流暢
horrible.
に話をした。なんて記
Why
述も
would you
出
do
てく
that,
るから。
Nero? That's insane. You'd grill someone the whole day and they'd still be conscious. It's said that ancient Rome, famous for their executions, thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive for as long as
そ
possible.
の中にね、お腹を開いて腸をウィンチ
Oh!
みたいに引っ張り出して、
Oh!
ウィンチで引っ張り上げて
Oh, I don't
晒し物
like
にす
this!
る系があったんですって。
I don't like this! That's horrible! Shion was behind me, clinging to me. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her stomach.
臓物を引っ張り出すなんて聞いただけでもすぐに死んじゃいそうでしょ。
I'm uncomfortable.
でもね、
Ma'am, I'm a child.
丁寧に優しくやるとね、
Hey, hey.
意識がはっきりとした状態
Oh my god, this is
腹渡を
horrible.
引きずり出すことって可能らしいのよ。
I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. It's like my organs were coiling up from Takano-san's stare.
ウィンチで引っ張り出すっていうのはなんだか巧妙な方法だけど、もっと野蛮に裂いた腹から臓物を
Oh great, yeah, that's so much
ちぎって
better.
は投げという、そんな恐ろしい刑もあったんじゃないかって十分に考えられない？でも処刑者には意識があるの。それは痛い以上に恐ろしい体験なんでしょうね。
Okay, this woman's the biggest problem now, huh? She spoke with pleasure, as if she'd come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears.
ひなみ沢の、いえ、鬼ヶ淵村の綿流しもそんな感じだったのかしらね。ほら、耳を澄ませば
Oh my god, this lady
聞こえてくるような気がしない？
wanted nothing more than to not hear anything at all. So why? Why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to? Takano-san, having realized she'd scared Shion and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd get even further away from the light. Shion and I, well, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along on her field trip through the ritual storehouse. This is...
これで軽く一周できたかしら？
Yeah, we can go.
面白いところでしょ？
Yeah, we can go now, she says, raising the lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason, it felt like I was able to see all those horrible tools at once.
ケイちゃん、上。
Oh no, is there a spider? Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. I couldn't tell because it was so dark, but oh, there were a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars, and then I figured it out. Cages, yeah, we saw those. For cages, they were very small. Cramped cages just for one, like a casket. Got locked up in there. No, you wouldn't get locked up inside it. It was another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. So many big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san's method of execution by grilling crosses my mind. We weren't just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things crowding the ceiling, or even hanging over our heads.
ヨーロッパの拷問道具にこういった鳥かごがたくさん登場するわね。日本にもあったなんて驚きだわ。
So I wonder if the foreigner thing is right then.
ケイちゃん、あれ、
Oh,
中に入
I'm
って
getting
ない？
a text message. It's saying, I have a discount for the nearby supermarket. How lovely. What a nice brief reminder that I'm not in this game at all. I'm in the outside world.
どれ？
Shion desperately pointed to one of the many human-sized bird cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being that dark, there wasn't any way you could tell if there was something there in the first place.
私には何も見えないけど、見間違いじゃないの？
Shion didn't seem convinced, but without a means to confirm for ourselves, we couldn't do much but wonder.
これで前原くんにもなんとなく信じられるようになったんじゃないかしら？
Yeah, I've come to believe I want to get out of here.
ひなみ沢に伝えられる恐ろしい儀式の数々が。
It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nations... Okay, where are we going with this? Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape-like torturous feasts because of religious suppression and things of that nature? Hinamizawa itself had such a period. It had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunts, that was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events, and in this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. That must apply to Hinamizawa as well.
中世の暗黒時代とかがそうだったように、
I mean,
ひなみ沢にも暗黒時代があった。
they say that, but I literally read a news article about how this has been like 300, what was it? It wasn't witch trial stuff, but it was like demon stuff where they'd go to people's houses to like banish demons in Europe. And like people would like there's a lot of this stuff that actually still exists. It's a little sad.
そういうものなんだと解釈します。本当にひなみ沢でこういう恐ろしいことがあったのだとしても、それは大昔の出来事なんです。今暮らしているひなみ沢の人々とは何の関係もないことです。
前原くんは本当にひなみ沢が好きなのね。
Didn't sound like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
でも高野さんはその風習が実は現代にも残っているんじゃないかと思って研究をしてるんです。そうでしたよね。
Shion suggested something that made my harp leap into my throat. That's what I'm saying. Are you telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
これ本当に内緒なんだから、ね。
Oh boy.
しおんちゃんは理解のある人だから話したけど、
Oh boy.
他の村人には聞かれたくないの。下手をしたら罰当たり者ってことで
Oh my
袋
god,
叩き
where are
に
we
され
going?
かねないんだから。
Where are we going? What are we doing? Oh no. Shion flashed a devilish smile, as if reveling in the immorality of it
前
all.
原くんも内緒にしてね。知られたら私、お社様のたたりに会うか、生贄にされちゃうかするかもしれない。たたりなら、今年はどんな死
Oh
に
my
方を
god.
させられちゃうのかしら。
You are tempting fate so much.
生贄なら、鬼ヶ淵の沼に生きたまま沈められちゃうのかしら。そういえば今夜よね。お社様のたたりがある夜は。
Takano-san said, bring your face right up close to ours, as if to say that if she had the choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she seemed to be implying. Takano-san took out a fairly worn notebook out of her paper bag and began to flip through its pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them, and had all manner of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about.
本当は国会図書館で当時の新聞を探したいんだけどね。ほら、ここ。
Photocopy of a page from some book was slid into the notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was just by glancing
こ
at
れ
it.
は実際にあったお話よ。明治の終わり頃にね、鬼ヶ淵村で身元不明の惨殺死体が発見されたんですって。
An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke of something that was no mere rumor or fairy
当
tale.
時の警察の資料がほとんど残ってないそうだから、口伝と記憶によるものだけなんだけどね。ほら、これ不鮮明だけど、明治の頃の新聞の切り抜きみたい。
Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it be the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy, it was very hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. Near the end of the Meiji era, in the old Onegifuchi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse was unknown. It wasn't even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limb was separated from its body. That sounds familiar. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there were markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, but the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife, with the entrails completely dragged out. The police immediately began an investigation, but they couldn't determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal. Finding answers was extremely difficult.
どういう状況か わかるかしら？
I couldn't imagine such a strange sight even if I tried. This was the first time I'd ever been thankful for my lack of imagination.
被害者は生きながらにして
That's an
全
interesting
身
note.
の皮を剥がれ、 あ
He
ら
has
ゆる拷問を受けていじめ殺されたんです。
he has very little imagination. That's actually, again, an important note. Oh god, what if he has autism?
そして死後にもさらに遺体を分解解剖と残虐の限りを尽くしたのではないかって筆者は見ている。私はどの工程も
Great.
生きているうちにやったんじゃない
Good to
か
know.
って思ってるんだけどね。前原くんはどう思うかしら？
She spoke in a way intended to make me imagine even more vicious things. As my brain was already far over capacity, however, there was no way I could imagine anything more brutal. And then when I broke my gaze from Takano-san's, those strangely shaped weird tools were all around us. I wonder if you could faithfully reproduce the mutilated corpse at the end of the Meiji era with the tools found in this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that something so terrible could have happened at all. Even so, they were so strange, so terrifying, these tools, as if they had seen through my attempt to escape from them. They did nothing but ridicule me silently.
その薄気味悪い事件が何だって言うんですか？
筆者はね、鬼ヶ淵村の恐ろしい習慣は
Right?
明治以降の近代、ひょっとすると昭和初期くらいまでは
That's
残って
long.
たんじゃないかって結ん
That's
でる。
long. This corpse at a glance appears to have been brutally killed after a period of torture. In actuality, however, it was a pitiful sacrifice. There was the pitiful sacrificial remains of the man-eater's terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fantastic, so strange that it didn't feel real. Was this an extension of the legends too? It happened in the Meiji era, though, which is too recent to be called a legend. Also, there's a newspaper clipping right here suggesting it.
でも本当にあったとしたって昔のことですよね。明治なんて言ったらそれこそ100年くらい前の。
たった100年前のことよ。それにね、昭和に入ってからだってあるんだから。終戦直後に騒ぎになった人肉缶詰事
The what?
件。
The what?
ごめんなさい。
The what now?
この話はタブーだったわよね。
The what? Hi, the what? Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Now, okay, I'm not gonna look this up, but I'm curious, and you guys can tell me, because if it's, is this a real thing? And if it is, just say it is, and I can look it up for next part because I'm curious. If it's just a Higurashi thing, don't worry, we'll learn it, right? But what is that? What is that? That's terrifying. What are we doing? Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but that expression soon disappeared. Isn't that just the ending of the PS2 Dog Life game? If you know, you know.
今高野さんなんて言いました？人肉缶詰って。
Just then, there was a huge creaking noise. Everyone whipped around to look. It was Tomitake-san, who had opened the door slightly.
驚かせちゃったかな？
Yeah, a little bit.
あ、ここ素敵な拷問道具の宝庫よ。
It felt like we skipped a line there. Right?
僕は遠慮させてもらうよ。
あら、二郎さんも見たく
Oh,
て
it
我慢でき
literally
なく
just
なった
skipped
か
a
し
bit.
ら？
Okay.
ここ素敵な
Strange.
拷問道具の宝庫よ。
生来ね、こういうのは苦手なんだ。
Takano-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter as if she wanted to make a comment about his masculinity.
それより、演舞とセレモニーが終わって、みんな沢の方に降りていったよ。あと何分もしないうちにお祭りは終わ
Yeah,
っちゃう。
we should probably get out of here.
あら、いけない。前原くんがあまりにも聞き上手だから、またお話三昧になっちゃったわ。
I'd rather you not mention me in a place like
二郎
this.
さんは表で待っててくれるかしら？私はちょっと写真を撮るわね。本当はいくつか道具を持って帰りたいんだけど。
Yeah, no, you
それ
shouldn't
は
do
さ
that.
すがに無理そうだからね。
Takano-san took out a camera out of a paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt.
Hmm?
Some kind of prop hunt, if you
ケ
will.
イチ君も出るかい？
もう十分に見ましたので、シオン、もういいだろう。出ようぜ。綺麗な空気が吸いたいよ。
同感です。出ましょう。
I did feel a bit of hesitation at leaving Takano-san by herself in this darkness. When I thought about it, though, I realized that whatever kind of evil spirits and ghosts lurked in the darkness, none of them could hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she'd be overjoyed and flash her camera at it. That sounds like a good idea for a video game. It seemed like Shion shared my somewhat rude mental images, which were clearly plastered on my face. We exchanged glances and smiled painfully. We left Takano-san there, bathed in her strobe of camera flashes, and decided to go leave the ritual storehouse. Yeah, hey, I don't think we can go directly into the funny music, you know? I feel like we can linger on this a little bit more, but okay, no. Happy times are here, I guess. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so the voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place.
どうだい？
Okay, no, yeah, that shadow sprite, that's there. I just saw it. That's scary. That's scary, the shadow sprite. That's scary. We gotta watch for that.
面白かったかい？
If that was there before, I never noticed it till now. Tomitaki-san gave a somewhat mischievous grin. You should be able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were.
富武さんと一緒に留守番をしてればよかったです。
Tomitaki-san laughed so delightfully that it wiped away our dark feelings.
シオンちゃんはどうだったかな？怖かったかい？
一応心の準備があった分怖くはなかったですけど、でもやっぱり実物は迫力あります。
Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing as how I was in way worse state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tomitaki-san grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself.
高野さんはおとなしく見物してたかな？
Maybe a little too
ほ
much.
ら、彼女子供っぽいところがあるだろう？宝の山を前にさぞや興奮してたんじゃないかと思ってね。
Both Shion and I laughed and left that as our answer.
見るだけならいいんだけどね。こっそりと何かを持ち出したり、いじくりすぎて細具を壊したりしないかが心配なんだよ。
Or want to use it. Right, that's quite possible. She is alone in there right now. She might pilfer something small and easily concealed, hiding it in her pocket.
やりかねないです。
Shion said what I was
本当
thinking.
に何も壊したりしなかったかな。なんだかドタンバタンと飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。
Huh?
僕は不安で不安で。
Huh?
ごめんなさい。フィルムがなくなっちゃったわ。ジローさん、フィルムが余ってたら分けてくれないかしら。
God, I love digital cameras. Takano-san suddenly appeared while we were talking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitaki-san grinned smoothly and responded as if nothing had happened. He's pretty mature.
もう予備のフィルムは切れちゃったよ。申し訳ないね。
もういついかなる時でもフィルムを残しておかないと決定的スクープ写真なんか撮れないわよ。仕方ないわね。
Tomitaki-san scratched his head apologetically. Ah, gomen oof-chan. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that, too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we'd left beside it.
高野さん、何も持ち出してないだろうね。
失礼ね。そこまで子供じゃないつもりよ。
She's like, no, I'm actually taking something big out. Kerclock. Tomitaki-san set the padlock back to the way it was before. From a cursory glance, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all.
よし、僕たちも沢に行こう。綿を流すところくらいやらないとお祭りに来た意味がないよ。
Tomitaki-san spoke brightly, urging us all on, setting cotton to float down the stream. I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse.
もうこれっきりにしてくれよ。十分に知的好奇心は満たせただろう。
まさか。むしろ新しい興味を惹かれるような発見ばかりよ。今日のでこれまでの仮説が一気に現実になったわ。これで今後の調べ方がだいぶ変わってくるんだから。
Wow, she's truly indomitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still interested in all this through and through. Wipe. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see the people receiving cotton that had been cut for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over.
まずったな。綿流しの一番いいところを撮影し損ねたよ。
あら、
You're
まだ
real
遅くない
close,
わ
huh?
よ。私が行って流すんだから。私を撮ってはくださらないのかしら。
Dang. Takano-san, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomitaki-san's shoulder. They are together, huh? Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitaki-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman.
じゃあね。前原くん、しおんちゃんも。
僕たちは今からでも沢に行ってみるよ。君たちも一緒に来るかい？
まさかお二人の邪魔なんてできません。どうぞごゆっくり。
Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano-san's. Tomitaki-san, on his part, seemed to wanted us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps.
疲れちゃいました。
同感だな。俺も疲れた。
ケイちゃんは綿流し初めてなんですよね。
But is it?
私なんか気にしないで行ってきてください。私は疲れちゃったんで、人混みはちょっとパスしておきます。
Yeah, if we were gonna go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the, barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony.
お姉たちがケイちゃんのことを探してるかもしれませんから、行ってきてください。
Yeah, I don't want her to see us
あ
here.
そうだ。ミオンたちと別れたままそれっきりだったら探してると悪い。
Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face. Put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret.
お姉ってすっごく嫉妬深いんです。私がケイちゃんを独占してたことがバレると、いろいろうるさいんで、今夜のことは秘密にしておいてくださいね。
Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing.
そういう意味だけじゃないですよ。今夜、私たちがしたことを思えば、秘密にするのは当然です。今夜起こるかもしれないお社様のたたり。
Oh boy. Don't say
私た
that.
ち4人が最有力候補なんですからね。
Don't say that. The loosening thread's attention became taut again. Shion, however, burst out laughing.
じゃあ、私はお姉に出くわす前に退散します。今日は本当に疲れてるから、お姉とやり合えるだけの体力はないですし。
シオンってミオンと仲がいいのか悪いのかよくわからないの。
仲いいですよ。
I mean, I guess you do. She said that. As she said that, her vague expression explained that there are a lot of oddities in a relationship between twins.
俺は一人っ子だからよくわかんないな。せいぜい仲良くしろよ。
はい。余計なおせっかいと受けたまわります。それじゃあ私はこの辺で。ケイちゃんも急いで行った方がいいですよ。本当に綿流しが終わっちゃいます。
Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me.
でも本当にあの音は何だったんでしょうね。不愉快というか。
It sounded like a bell being rung or something. Right?
何の音だって？
音ですよ。ドタンバタンって。うるさかったじゃないですか。
Wait, what? No, there was a different sound then. I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her too.
ごめんシオン。はしょらないで最初から説明してくれないか。何がうるさかったって？
ケイちゃん、気にならなかったんですか？
What? Wait, what? When all's said and done, it's like we were speaking two different languages.
シオン。
Wait, what?
冗談抜きで初めから説明してくれないか。
Yeah, what are you talking about?
音がどうしたって？
ケイちゃんこそ冗談抜きで。
Oh my god,
本
wait.
当の本当に気にならなかったんですか？
Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at each other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held the urge to shout at her, and asked politely one more
も
time.
う一度聞くからな。質問は俺からだ。
Shio nodded silently.
じゃあ聞くぞ。音がしたって何のことだ？
ドタンバタンって。なんだかどこか遠くの板の間で 子供が跳ねてるような。
remember? Because Tomitake-san said that there was something like someone jumping.
本当に気にならなかったんですか？
気にならないも何も。そんな音いつ聞こえた？俺は何も聞いてないぞ。
ちょっとケイちゃん、それ
Oh, this is
本気で言っ
scary.
てるんですか？
Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer, pressed me further, her expression serious. I had no clue what she was talking about, but if it is Shion acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine.
さっき最後伝の中で高野さんと一緒に見て回
Was
って
it
る
just over
最
and
中、
over, or?
高野さんが昔話を始めた頃からかな、少しずつだんだんと
Yeah, no, I didn't.
ちょくちょくと
She heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards?
嘘だろ？最後の最後で怖がらせるのは
Yeah, come
なしたぜ、
on.
おい。
I didn't hear anything at all, but Takano heard it too. Not Takano. Frick. Takano's the girl. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about Tomitake. Her names start with T, right? In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening.
ケイちゃんこそ
Oh
怖
boy.
がらせないでください。なんだか高野さんの怖い話に合わせて音を立ててるようで、私ずっと薄気味悪かったんですから。
I don't know if we're just ignorant to it or... The chill rose through my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind
ケイちゃんも
froze.
高野さんも全然意にも介さない風だったので、私も聞こえないふりをずっとしてましたけど、聞こえましたよね。何度かはすごく大きな音でしたから。
Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my eyes suggested something entirely different. You've got to be kidding me, look. In that storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time, Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Shouldn't that make Shion, who heard it, tremble? Or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made the decision before I did.
なんだよ、突然。
引っかかりましたね、ケイちゃん。
No, she's not. No, she's masking.
嘘ですよ。嘘。
No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Shion laughed, seeing how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile somehow seemed artificial, and actually made me feel worse. Then, after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left, almost like she was running away. Yeah, no, this is, No, she's masking. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. Now I think back, Tomitake-san said the same thing, didn't he?
なんだかドタンバタンと
Yeah.
飛び跳ねるような音がよく聞こえたからね。僕は不安で。
Tomitake-san, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he heard something. Then that noise. It was real? The banging sounds. Sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Oyashiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitake-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded further away than I would have liked, and the sound of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then all of a sudden I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch.
ケイチ、
Oh
見
boy.
つけたなのです。
It was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mion and Rena were there too.
やっと見つけた。あとはさとこか。
今年はみんなはぐれちゃったね。
Where's Satoko?
来年からはちゃんと合流
Was
場所を
was
決めておき
Satoko in
た
there
いな。
jumping on the roof? Did she go there to see the show and was jumping on the roof?
そうだね。やっぱりお祭りはみんなと一緒でないとね。
I listened to Mion's happy declaration with a little bit of guilt. I just wanted to cut to Satoko stuck on the roof. She's like, I'm stuck up here. I can't do anything. She got up and can't get down.
ああ、ちゃんと見てたぜ。最後までちゃんと頑張ったな。ミスもなかったし。
I'm gonna say she made a mistake during it, and this is her proving that, you know, we didn't watch it. I'm gonna say that there. Yeah, no. Look at the expressions. She absolutely made a mistake. Yep. We just proved that we didn't watch it. I tensed up as I realized I'd made a mistake of my own. Oh, Mion slapped a hand on my shoulder a little roughly. Is there anything worse than lying and it's such a clear lie that you immediately realize you screwed up? A gross sweat broke out over my whole body.
ケイちゃんはやった？
What?
綿をもらって沢に流した？
Oh. You haven't yet, right? Is what I could feel her saying. Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head.
あれ？そうなの？ケイチくん。早く行かないと終わっちゃうよ。
ごめん。初めてのお祭りだからさ。よくルールがわからなくて。
そうだったね。ごめん。
Mion took my hand. Oh. Huh. And we started walking down the stone steps.
ねえ、ケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
シオンには会わなかった？
Oh, God. Oh, God. My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand.
いや、でも、姿を見たような。でも、ミオンとそっくりだからな。ミオンだったのかもしれないし。
Oh, God.
そんなに間違えないでしょ？服装だって違うんだから。
そうだよな。
Oh, God. Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me.
しょうがないな、シオンは。まあ、あいつのことだから、放っておいても大丈夫かな。
Mion's expression returned her to her former usual smile, and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. This was a really good chapter. This was a really good part. This was, like, I was a bit worried when we were doing the festival stuff at the beginning, but this was really good. I mean, it was also terrifying. More scrapbook notes and after the festival. Oh boy! Are we getting another police thing? Plumbing the depths. Discover what's in the storehouse. Well, let's see here. Scrapbook 4. Watanagashi. The rite of Watanagashi is performed during a festival every June. Even now, reading back to its origin turns up a seriously sanguine ceremony. Originally, Watanagashi would happen at certain intervals. After receiving Oyashiro-sama's trust, it chose a sacrifice. Then the entire village would kidnap, demon away, the person in ceremony, dissect, and devour them in a feast. The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory it was determined based on astrological fortune-telling, but it isn't too convincing. Residents of ancient Onigafuchi village firmly believed they were half man, half demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people within and without to accept that. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove they were higher up in the food chain. This is a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of Watanagashi was a political event for the purpose of being an outlet for, or outright diverting the attention of, the villagers of the isolated Onigafuchi village, in case any of their complaints or dissatisfactions grew serious. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it would explain how erratic they were. Okay. Man, this is crazy. These are different colored books I'm noticing. 5. The alleged importance of the implements. Can't find anything that gives a concrete description of what the ritual implements were like. They were, however, real, and they definitely existed, a multitude of different kinds. One source states that the implements were used in the Watanagashi rite, alone numbered 200. The obvious question is then, why did they require such a myriad of them? Yeah, if they're only killing one person, right? The rite of Watanagashi was to kidnap people through the demoning away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools were for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such a way to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you've reached the ultimate goal, that is, attaining a certain level of efficiency, the tool's natural evolution stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for diversification over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment will evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal, they would split into many different subtypes. So perhaps it's not a stretch to suggest that there were 200 plus implements these 200 plus implements had some sort of entertainment value. This is just a hypothesis, of course, but maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. The three families of old would develop one new implement dissection tool after another, and each one was varied, novel, and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There isn't much longer until the night of the Watanagashi. Though its original intent had been lost, I will reveal the secrets of the traditional ceremonial night within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. Watanagashi cannot come soon enough. Oh, that's a scary thing to say. It's not a normal thing to say. Okay. And oh boy, it's with the police. What are we doing? Late that night, tensions at the police station were strained. In the silence, many of the staff members shifted back and forth between the clock and their telephones, counting the seconds in that stifled atmosphere. Kumagai-kun burst in with a young guy trailing behind him. Someone's dead. Someone's dead. Who's dead? Who's dead? Burned body. Oh boy, someone's burned up. Oh my god, is it actually just gonna be Tomatake again? Is he just gonna die in every route? Are we doing this every time? Great. He spoke in sportive tones, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collective sigh.
ばっちり黒焦げだそうで、ああいう匂いってこもるんですよね。ギフさんかわいそうだな。
What a shame it is to be Gifu-san? Who's Gifu-san? Cooked with no possessions, then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they'd sniffed it out tonight was huge.
今、小宮山君たちが
Okay.
沖宮の歯科医を根こそぎ野襲してい
Oh,
ます。
teeth, yeah.
カルテで歯型証
That
明するし
works.
かないでしょう。ごめん、誰かきつめのタバコ、
They
タコぐらい買って
probably
きてくれ
don't
ません。
burn, right? I don't think... Well, because they're part of the skeleton, right? Yeah, no. The young guy answered an affirmation and darted out into the hallway. I mean, I'd go to get cigarettes to avoid dealing with this.
ひょっとすると過去の失踪者もこんな感じで県外で殺されてたんすかね。
なら埋めればいいじゃないですか。重りつけて日本海でも。で
もどうして一人死んで一人消えるのがこれまでのパターンじゃないですか。
クマちゃん、仏は拘束なしでドラム缶の中でこんがりでしょ。多分締められた後にわざわざ焼いたんじゃないかと思うんですよ。見つかることを覚悟の上でです。
じゃあつまり今年は消す気は初めからなかったってことっすか。
消す気がないってよりは、これはそれとは全く別のものでしょうね。消すどころか主張しているようにすら感じられますよ。
つまり見せしめの意味があるってことっすか。
He folded his arms and then heaved a long, heavy sigh.
それをしないでやってくれりゃ、その線もあるんですがね。こんな遠くまで運んで焼いちゃったら、下手したらわかんないでしょう。見せしめにするなら、ひなみ沢の近くでやるべきなんですよ。殺したことを主張したいのに、場所は演出効果の確実じゃない遠方。主張したいのか隠したいのか。今年は何考えてるのかな、お社様は。
Oh, phone ringing. What's going on? Telephone ring cut through the heavy silence. Staff member nearby snatched up the receiver.
おいさん、小宮山さんです。出ました。沖宮のデンタルクリニックで3年前に親知らずの治療をしてます。
カルテは
レントゲン付きでバッチリと。
Okay.
いやー、こんな明け方前に歯医者さんには申し訳ないな。
Who is it? It's gonna be
熊ちゃん、
Tomatake. It's gonna be
小
Tomatake.
宮山君からカルテを受け取ったらすぐに出発してください。
了解っす。あ、課長です。夜分お疲れ様です。大石さん、遅くなって申し訳ない。状況は？
やっと面白くなってきたってどこですかね。燃えてきたぞー。わー
Okay, Grandpa, calm down. Oh, we're not gonna learn till later. I think it's Tomatake. I think he's doomed to die in every route. I think it's just gonna be every time we do a route, it's gonna be someone's gonna die, and it's gonna be over and over or something. Right? That's my only thought. Okay. Well, this was a really good part. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I mean, it was brutal and like I felt deeply uncomfortable, but that's a good thing. It's a visual novel. It's meant to make you feel things. So, with that said, everyone, I will see you guys next time for some more where we move on to we did chapter 7, so chapter 8. We'll see you guys then for that. Ciao. Yo.